July 18th, 1978, the New York Yankees found themselves 14 games out of first place and fourth place in the American League Eastern Division. September 10th, 1978, the New York Yankees find themselves one game back of the Boston Red Sox in an unbelievable comeback. Hello again, everybody. I'm Fran Healy along with Frank Messer, Phil Rizzuto, and Bill White, bringing you the play-by-play as the Yanks and the Red Sox play the final game of this series here in Fenway Park this afternoon. The Yanks have won the first three by a combined score of 35-5. They have won 5 straight, 15 of their last 17, and 20 of their last 25 to move one game back of the Boston Red Sox. This is as close as they have been to the top since they were also one back on May 26th. Pitchers today for this ballgame for the New York Yankees. Right-hander Ed Figueroa. Figueroa 15-9 here in 1978. And for the Red Sox, left-hander Bob Sproul. Sproul is 0-1 in 1978. And I'll be back with the starting lineup for today's game right after this. Well, this is the 12th meeting this year between the Yanks and the Sox, with Boston holding a 6-5 edge. The Yanks have a 4-3 advantage here in Fenway Park. They haven't won a season series here since 1968, when they took 5 of 9. The Sox have won 3 of 4 in New York this year, with 3 games remaining next homestand. The Yanks and the Sox have now played before 447,187 this year on their 11 dates, an average of 40,000 plus per day. Last year, in 15 games, they played before 612,937, an average of 40,000 plus per day. And as members of the New York Yankees, Roy White and Willie Randolph, jog in the outfield, the pitchers loosen up in their respective bullpens. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for today's ball game. For the Boston Red Sox, leading off, playing shortstop, Rick Burleson. Burleson 4 for 12 in this series. Batting second in center field, Freddie Lynn. Lynn 1 for 9 against the Yankees. The designated hitter batting third, Jim Rice. Rice 3 for 11 in this series with no RBIs. And, of course, that tells the story for the Red Sox in this series, because Rice has 121 RBIs on the year. Batting in the cleanup spot, playing left field. A magnificent left field at that, Carl Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski 1 for 11 on the season. Catching, batting fifth, Carlton fifth, 3 for 7 in this 3-game series, or 4-game series. The first 3 games, fifth, 3 for 7. Gary Hancock will play right field and bat 6. Batting 7th, playing first base, George Scott. Scott 0 for 9 in this series. Butch Hobson will play third base and bat 8. Hobson is 1 for 10. Jerry Remy, who some people call the catalyst for the Boston Red Sox, will play in his first ball game in this 4-game series here today. Remy out with an injured wrist. Still having problems swinging the bat, but he can play defense. So he'll bat 9th and play second base. Once again, pitching for the Red Sox, left-hander Bob Sproul. Sproul 0-1 on the year. For the New York Yankees, leading off, playing center field, Mixer Quick, Mickey Rivers. Rivers 5 for 11 in this series. Willie Randolph was 6 for 12 here. He plays second base and bats second. The captain, Thurman Munson, will bat third. Munson 5 for 11. Reggie Jackson will be the designated hitter and bat fourth. Jackson 2 for 11. In the 5th spot, Lou Piniella, who's swinging a very hot bat. Piniella 8 for 12 in this series. Piniella will play right field. At first base, Chris Chambliss. Chambliss will bat 6th, and he's 4 for 13 in this series. Greg Nettles, who's 3 for 14 in the series, will play third base and bat 7th. In the 8th slot in left field, Roy White. White 5 for 11. In the 9th slot at shortstop, Bucky Dent. Dent 4 for 15 here in Boston. A big base hit against Dennis Eckersley yesterday to break the game wide open. And pitching once again for the New York Yankees, the right-hander from Puerto Rico, Ed Figueroa. Figueroa 15-9 on the year. Well, Mickey Rivers walks up the home plate. He'll face Bob Sproul. And here with the play-by-play, Mr. Frank Messer.
Hi, Fran Healy. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody, wherever you might be listening to New York Yankee baseball on this Sunday, September 10th. The Yankees just one game behind the Red Sox after winning the first 3 of this series, and now the only thought in the minds of the Yankees is to sweep the 4 games. Mickey Rivers batting .270. Left-hander Bobby Sproul, 22 years old, out of Tampa, Florida. Kicks and delivers low and in, and this game is underway. 1 ball and no strikes to Mickey Rivers. Quick 5 for 11 in the series. He has a 5-game hitting streak. Left-hand batter takes down lower breaking ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Sproul, in his 1 major league appearance against the Baltimore Orioles, pitched 7 innings, allowed 5 hits, walked 3, and struck out 5. One of the 5 hits was a home run. He deals inside, almost hit Rivers, and the ball got by fist. I think this kid's a little bit uptight out there, friend.
I would have to say so, Frank. Clyde King, who's with the Yankees right now as a pitching instructor, scouted Sproul in the minor leagues. He said that at the time he saw him, he threw a good fastball, did not throw a breaking ball.
He misses with a fastball, and Rivers walks on 4 pitches.
But Clyde King went on to say that he heard Sproul's best pitch was his breaking ball. That particular night he faced all right-handers and stayed with the fastball.
But in his minor league career, which is only 2 years, he has not walked that many people. Let's see, 99, 103 walks, as opposed to, over 300 strikeouts. All right, he'll work to Randolph. Woody takes the strike, the first one, the youngster throw. Randolph, a 275 batter, 6 for 12 in this series. He's had a good bat, and Woody has hit in 6 straight games now. Rivers down at first, George Scott holding him on. Rivers watching Sproul very carefully, steps back ahead of a not good pickoff throw. Thus Rivers will be watching Sproul closely. He probably has never seen him before. Try to time him, get an idea whether he can get a jump off the left-hander or not. Mickey holds, and the pitch is low. It's a ball and a strike to Randolph. I don't think he'd be wanting to run too much right now with this kid wild early in the game. Let him give up the walks, move the people up that way.
Good point, Frank.
Reverend Munson is waiting on deck. Very cloudy day here in Boston. No immediate threat of rain. Throw to first base, and Rivers is back easily. As Fran Healy told you, the wind is blowing toward left field. It's turned around completely from yesterday when it was blowing strong from left over toward right. Sproul delivers. Down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looked like then he had a very quick delivery. Does not hold the leg up in the air very long. Be hard to get a jump off of him on that delivery. 22 years old. 6'2", 190 pounds. Straightens up. Checks Rivers with a look. Throws over there, and Rivers is back. Down in Tampa, Florida, in Legion Baseball, Sproul pitched to Mike Heath, who is his catcher. Heath now with the Yankees, Sproul with the Red Sox. There goes Rivers. And Randolph takes, throw to second base. He's safe. Stolen base for Mick the Quick. This throw tailed a little bit to the first base side. Burleson reached out, tried to bring a tag down, but Rivers slid in easily with a stolen base. Count is 3-1 on Willie Randolph, with Rivers now at second. Sproul spins the ball around in his left hand behind the hip. And the pitch upstairs, took something off of it, trying to get a strike, still couldn't do it.
Frank, a little surprised with that pitch right there. It looked like he threw a breaking ball 3-1 to Willie Randolph. So it's fifth. I'm sure thought about it. He's been missing with the fastball. So at times it's good to change, but in a pitch like that, the easiest pitch to throw for a strike is the fastball.
Don Zimmer has gone out to the mound, trying to settle the youngster down a little bit. And as Zimmer goes out there, he gets action going out in the Red Sox bullpen. Right-hander, it looks like Bob Stanley. It is Bob Stanley. Now Zimmer jogs back to the dugout. And Thurman Munson will step in with runners at first and second, nobody out. Thurman is hitting .293, 5 for 11 in the series. 6 home runs, 65 runs batted in.
Frank, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rivers and Randolph run on Sproul. With Munson hitting, Munson like to get that fastball. I'm sure Fisk knows both those guys on the base can fly.
They spread the outfield for Thurman. Bit of a gap in right center. The infield plays him up the middle. Hobson at third is in a step in front of the bag. Here's the pitch. Thurman was not going to bunt. He takes a strike. Reggie Jackson is on deck. Yankees have really overpowered the Red Sox in the first 3 games of this series. Outpitched them, out-defensed them. Pitch to Thurman. Strike 2 call. Well, Thurman doesn't believe this one. He's a little bit upset with the call by Jim Evans.
Frank Sproul right now does not look like he's overpowering, although he did strike out a lot of hitters in the minor leagues. I'm sure he throws harder. Right now, feeling himself up here. A little bit nervous.
Well, the biggest crowd of people he's ever seen in the ballpark. Pitch. Fouled out of play. Sure, they don't draw this many people down in the minor leagues where he pitched, and they didn't have this many people down in Baltimore when he made his major league debut.
Right.
Got a crowd going around 33,000 again here today. The Yankees in this series are batting .374 as a team, 49 hits and 131 at bats, 35 runs, averaging better than 11.5 a game. Munson grounds one is short. They're going to get 2. 6-4-3 double play. Rivers goes to third. Well, pitcher's best friend, the double play ball, has taken a load of pressure off Sproul's shoulder.
Yes, he did, Frank, and George Scott just carried the ball into Sproul. Give him a few words of encouragement. George Scott looks like he's sky high for this ball game, and the Red Sox better be.
Well, they got the tough Munson out on the double play, and that is quite an accomplishment for Sproul. He'll pitch now to Reggie Jackson, pitting left-hander against left-hander. Reggie is 2 for 11 in the series, a single and a 3-run homer. He's batting .278 on the year with 21 home runs and 77 runs batted in. Full windup, the pitch, swing and a miss on a good breaking ball. I'll tell you, if the Red Sox win this game, Sproul can look back to getting Munson on the double play ball here in the first inning. That could stand up as the biggest play of the ball game. Left-hander checks Rivers at third. The pitch to Reggie, hit on the ground up the middle, and he goes by Remy, base hit. Rivers is in to score, and Jackson has driven in his 78th run this year with his 3rd hit in this series. Ground ball, and Remy just couldn't get to it. Remy's problem has been his wrist. But I'll tell you, I've seen Remy make a play on that ball before, Fran.
Yes, he would, Frank. Of course, he has not been out there for a while. Take a little time to get his feet on the ground, even for the veteran player. People are under the impression that the veteran never gets nervous. This is a misconception. When they're out there, they're nervous. Takes a few pitches, maybe a ground ball hits to Remy to really loosen them up.
Lou Pinella steps in. Lou has had just a fantastic series. 8 hits in 12 at-bats. He's hitting .317 and takes low and in, ball 1. Somebody was asking Bob Lemon if he was nervous first time he ever pitched here at Fenway Park. He said, I pitched in this ballpark for 9 years, and I was nervous every time I pitched here. Coming in here with the Cleveland Indians. Pitch coming, down low. Clem said he won his first game he ever pitched in this ballpark. In fact, I believe that might have been where he made his major league debut. He pitched 7 innings and won the ball game.
I'm sure it's great to pitch for Lem, Frank. He knows how tough it is out there.
Pinella swings and misses. The count is 2 balls and a strike. That led to the question to Lemon. How about the first time you played at Yankee Stadium? Were you nervous? He said, not a bit. Said, I played center field. Bob Feller pitched a no-hitter. I wasn't a bit nervous. But contrary to some people's belief, Lemon did not make the final put-out in that ball game. Two balls and 1 strike to Pinella. Fastball is down low, and it's 3-1. Reggie is down at first. The Yankees lead 1-0. In 3 now of the 4 games the Yankees have scored in the first inning. Yesterday afternoon being the exception when Eckersley shut him out until the 4th when the Yankees scored all 7. The pitch coming. Outside, off-speed pitch. And Pinella walks, the 3rd walk by the kid here in the first inning. And the batter is Chris Chambliss. Chris is hitting .287, 4 for 13 in the series. Bob Stanley continues to throw in the Boston bullpen. I think 1 more base runner here in the inning, and Sproul might be out of this ball game. Zimmer on the dugout steps. The set and pitch. Strike called. He used a breaking ball on Chambliss. Chris has been day in, day out all season long the Yankees' steadiest hitter. A .287 average, a team-leading 83 ribbies. This breaking ball is down low.
And Frank, what helps Chris Chambliss, he does not overswing at the plate. He takes a short stride, very tough to fool. When you take the long stride, you're fooled by that off-speed pitch. Munson another one with a short stride.
A ball up high and in makes it 2-1 on Chambliss.
And let's not forget Lou Piniella, another hitter with a short stride. They will not drive the ball as often, but they're tough to fool. They keep the ball in play, and they're a tough out.
Sproul lets in the fist for the side and delivers ball 3 low and inside. Three and one on Chambliss. Sproul may have an idea if he walks Chambliss, he's out of the ball game. Chambliss gets a base hit, he may be out. He delivers and walks in ball 4, and he's out of the ball game. That's all for Sproul. So the kid just too nervous here. He has walked 4 men in the first inning. Zimmer can't take any more of that, so he'll be bringing Bob Stanley in.
And Frank, I'm sure this bothers Don Zimmer, the manager of the Red Sox. Many a rookie, they go out there, they're nervous, they have to overcome the nervousness. And of course, the Red Sox not afforded the luxury of this today. And there's a break in the action with the score: New York 1, Boston nothing. Okay, to be Bob Stanley, big right-hander for the Boston Red Sox, on a relief of Bob Swallow. And the fans give him a nice ovation. And he'll be back. A fine-looking left-hander, a good fastball, good breaking ball, had control problem today, and I'm sure it'll bother him. Stanley on the season, 13-2, having a magnificent year for the Boston Red Sox. He's with a 2.76 ERA, with 8 saves, and the fans give Stanley a hand, well-deserved hand. Bill Campbell, the ace of the Boston Red Sox pitching staff, has a very tender elbow. Has not pitched that often this year for the Red Sox. He's 6-5 on the year with a 4.20 ERA and only 4 saves. Of course, he did most of the pitching last year in relief for the Boston Red Sox. But it's been Stanley this year. Campbell with a bad arm. Frank, there's been question. Some people tell me that Campbell hurt his arm pitching. Others tell me he hurt his arm playing racquetball.
Wow, I did not know that. I'll tell you, though, it's amazing the number of ball players that are injured in off-the-field activities and seriously injured. And there are arguments on both sides. A lot of folks say, well, why did they do it? But still, a ball player is a human being. You can't set him up on a pedestal and put a glass case around him. He's got to go out and have his own activities, too. So you look at it both ways. Well, the warm-ups are going on, Fran. What about the Red Sox series with the Yankees down in New York next weekend?
Well, all box reserved, and now general admission seats are completely sold out for next weekend's 3 Red Sox games at the stadium. There are still some unreserved bleacher tickets remaining. They will be on sale at the stadium box office only until 5 today. And if tickets remain from 9 to 5 tomorrow, there's a limit of 4 tickets per game per person. Again, only bleacher seats remain for next weekend's Boston games at Yankee Stadium. And they are being sold in advance at the stadium box office only. This change in policy has been made to avoid turning away late-coming fans and to reduce congestion in the stadium area before these games. While Stanley completes his warm-up process here in cozy Fenway Park, a hitter's paradise, especially if you're right-handed. The Yankees, the bases loaded. Jackson at third, Piniella at second, Chambliss at first. And a power hitter, Greg Nettles, steps in, and I'm sure Nettles happy to see the right-hander as opposed to the left-hander in a situation like this. Frank?
All right, Greg has got a 9-game hitting streak going. He's batting .274, leads the team in homers with 23. Stanley, the right-hander, deals. Nettles swings and drills one through the right side, base hit. Here comes Jackson. Here comes Piniella. The ball is booted by Hancock. And 2 runs scored. There will be no error. Chambliss goes to third, clapping his hands, applauding Nettles, who rips the first pitch through the right side to drive in a pair, and the Yankees lead 3-0.
Frank, I think it's safe to say that the Yankees are swinging hot bats. It's unbelievable the way they're swinging a bat in the 4-game series here in Boston. And really not shooting for the left field wall. Hitting the ball where it's pitched, taking the single, the double, the triple, occasionally the home run.
Roy White's the batter. Runners on the corners, and the pitch is low and in. Nettles now is hitting 10 straight games. He now has 81 runs batted in on the year. Roy White, a 257 hitter, 5 for 11 in the series, fouls this one back. Got a little bit of Fisk on the way back. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Roy White. Roy has had a sharp bat over the last week or so. He beat the Tigers 1 ball game down at Yankee Stadium with a double and a 3-run homer. A 4-0 Yankee win. Next pitch to him. Fouled at the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. The Yankees lead 3-0 here in the top half of the first inning. White is the 8th man to come up. Nettles at first, Chambliss at third. First baseman Scott is holding Nettles on. The outfield spread for White. Infield shades him to the right side as a pull hitter. Bob Stanley to the belt. The pitch. Bouncing ball to Scott at first. He fires to second. They force Nettles there, and that retires the side. The Yankees get 3 and lead 2, and at the end of 1/2, it's New York 3 and Boston coming to bat.
Here in Boston, Fenway Park, Rick Burleson, the shortstop for the Boston Red Sox, will lead off against Ed Figueroa. Burleson will be followed by Freddie Lynn and Jim Rice. The score: the Yankees are red hot. New York Yankees 3, the Red Sox nothing. Frank?
Hi, Brad Haley. Burleson is a 249 hitter, 4 for 12 in the series. Ed Figueroa making his 30th start. Kicks and deals, high for a ball. Biggie last pitched Wednesday night in New York. He beat the Tigers 8-2, going 8 innings in the ball game. That was his 3rd straight win. He offers again, and he's low this time, 2 balls and no strikes. Figueroa has won 8 of his last 10 decisions over 12 starts, allowing only 19 earned runs in 89 innings, a 1.9 ERA. He comes ball 3 inside. His only 2 losses in his last 12 starts were to the Angels and that rain-shortened game in Baltimore that we'd all like to forget about but can't. Strike is called at 3-1. Speaking of Baltimore, a lot of the Orioles are out here at the ballpark in Fenway today. They have an off day. 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 call. Burleson looking for a walk, started down at first base and is called back by plate umpire Jim Evans. The Orioles played in Toronto last night, flew into Boston this morning, and quite a few of them made their way out here to the ballpark, including their media people, writers, at least one of their broadcasters. 3-2 pitch to Burleson. Grounded foul outside of third. Rick Dempsey in the Yankee clubhouse before the ball game, greeting former teammates.
Did he have his contract?
Yep.
5 years.
5-year contract. Rick is very, very happy with it. 3-2 pitch coming. Walked in, Lord outside. Burleson is on with a leadoff walk. Freddie Lynn, yesterday, after Burleson let off the ball game with a single in the first inning, they called on Lynn to sacrifice, and he did. Then about the third of the ball game, Burleson let off with a walk. They called on Lynn to sacrifice again, and he did. He won't be sacrificing now. He's swinging, but takes outside, ball 1. Lynn, a 294 hitter, 1 for 9 in this series. He has 20 home runs and 68 runs batted in. Red Sox indicated yesterday they're playing a little scared baseball. Lynn swings and fouls one deep to left field. It'll be out of the ballpark, but foul. We'll pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
You're listening to 1460 WOKO, Albany.
Franklin Figueroa was a member of the California Angels. He had tremendous success pitching here in Fenway Park, I'm sure, because of his sinker.
This one is lined to Chambliss, double play. Line drive right at Chambliss. Chris didn't realize at first that he had it. Looked in the glove, there it was, and he went back to the bag to double Burleson off, and there are 2 down. Ball was hard hit, but right at Chambliss. Two outs, and Jim Rice steps in. Rice has not driven in a run in this series. He's had 3 hits and 11 at-bats. Right-hand hitter takes a strike. Rice is hitting .325, 23 doubles, 15 home runs, 38 runs batted in, or rather 38 homers and 121 runs batted in. He swings and he misses. Rice leads the major leagues in hits with 189 and in total bases with 356, triples, homers, RBIs, and slugging. He swings and misses strike three. Figueroa strikes out Rice at the end of one. The score, the Yankees 3 and the Bo Sox nothing. Bucky Dent takes the pitch down low for a ball. Bucky, right-hand batter, 9-game hitting streak. Swings in this one, grounds it through the left side, base hit. 10 games for Bucky as he leads off the second with a ground single to left field. He ripped that ball in between Hobson and Burleson. Burleson came close to it but could not field it.
And Frank Stanley made a good pitch on Bucky. The ball was down. It was a good sinker. Bucky hit it hard enough to get it through the infield. It was too bad Bucky pulled the hamstring out in California. At the time, he was just starting to hit the ball well on a 5-game hitting streak at the time of the hamstring pull.
Mickey Rivers steps in now. Hobson in shallow at third. Mickey squares and takes low and in. Ball one. Scott was ready to charge down. Hobson stays in shallow at third base. Remy at second. Burleson at short. Tied up the middle. The outfield spread out. The stretch by Bob Stanley to the belt. The right-hander's pitch. Foul back and out of play. Bobby Sproul worked 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 runs on only 1 hit. He walked 4 men. The Yankees now have 3 hits in the ball game, with Nettles and Dent both continuing their hitting streaks to 10 games in their first times at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rivers. The pitch, he bunched foul. Tried to push the ball down the third base line and fouled it off. A ball and 2 strikes on Mick the Quick. Willie Randolph is on deck. Dick Hauser and Gene Michael on the coaching lines at third and first for the Yankees. Bob Stanley, a 13-game winner with 8 saves. Delivers low outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sun from time to time will burn through the clouds and then duck back again. At the moment, it is shadowy here at Fenway. The set by Stanley. Net is going. Rivers swings and misses strike 3, and a throw to second kicks off the leg of Burleson, and Dent is safe. Fisk was ready to throw, but nobody was covering. He had a double pump and lost any chance of a play.
Frank Burleson looked a little bit surprised and looking in at Fisk, and like you said, he double pumped. Fisk might have looked for Remy to cover the base there with the hit and run. The ball was swung at by Rivers, but Remy did not break. Burleson broke, and Fisk double pumped. He could not get the ball down there in time to get Bucky Dent.
Mickey struck out. Dent steals the base, and Willie Randolph the batter with 1 away. The pitch to Randolph up high. Randolph, like Rivers, walked in the first inning. The Yankees now have stolen 2 bases in this ball game. Rivers stole in the first. Dent has stolen here in the second. And the pitch coming. Strike call. Good pitch that time from Stanley. That was only Bucky's 3rd stolen base this year. Understandable. He's been playing all year with a bad leg. 1-1 pitch. Low and in. Knocked down by Fisk. No chance for Dent to advance. The Yankees lead 3-0. Rivers, Randolph walked in the first inning. Munson grounded into a DP. Jackson single for 1. Pair walks to Pinella and Chambliss, and a base hit by Nettles got 2 more. Ground ball is hit to the left side of the shortstop Burleson. He's got it, but throws nowhere. Now he throws to third, trying to get Dent on the overturn, but did not. A base hit for Randolph. Good stop by Burleson, diving to his left. Realized he could not get Randolph. Held the ball for a second, then threw it to third, hoping to catch Dent on an overturn.
Frank Burleson, a tremendous play on that ball, diving for that ball, and an excellent shortstop.
The Yankees with 1 out have runners at first and third, and Thurman Munson the batter. Thurman grounded into a double play his first time up. He is now batting .292. Pitch to him is bunted back toward the mound. Picked up by the pitcher Stanley. He doesn't throw it anywhere. The bases are loaded. Stanley didn't throw the ball anywhere, and we'll see what the official score will rule. It's a base hit for Munson.
Frank, what happened on that ball was not a good bunt. It was a surprise to the Red Sox. Stanley fielded the ball. He went to set his right foot to throw to first base, and it looked like his ankle gave out. So then he did not throw the ball. And, of course, once that happens, hold the ball. Don't throw it.
Get held at third base. Randolph went to second. Munson on at first. With a base hit, the bases are loaded for Reggie Jackson. One out. They play for the double play with the outfield spread out and deep. The pitch, swatted foul, and that goes into the Boston dugout down the first base line. Mike Torres sitting on the top steps of the dugout. Had his problems as the series opening pitcher. The Yankees knocked him out early in the ball game. Red Sox have got much better pitching in relief than they have from their starters in this series. One strike on Reggie. He swings and misses. Jackson singles to drive in the game's first run. He's behind the count now 0-2 with the bases loaded and one away. Stanley trying to pitch himself out of a jam. Dick Dre, nope, there you go. Left-hander Hassler on the bullpen. 0-2 pitch coming. Grounded foul outside of first. And again into the dugout. Past Johnny Pesky, who was also up on the top steps. Yastrzemski in left straightaway, Lynn straightaway deep in center, and Hancock in right field is backed off. The infield is deep around with 2 strikes on Jackson and the bases loaded. A stretch and set by Stanley. The pitch, check swing grounder, slowly hit to the second baseman. Remy gets the out at first. Dent scores. The Yankees lead 4-0. Reggie checked his swing. Just squibbed a grounder past the mound. Remy, the second baseman, charged it. His only play was to Scott. He gets Jackson. Jackson gets a run batted in, and the Yankees have a 4-0 lead. Randolph now at third, Munson at second. Reggie's 79th run batted in this year, and Lou Piniella will step in with a chance to pad the lead even more. Lou walked in the first inning. Bobby Sproul, who started for the Red Sox, walked 4 men and gave up 1 base hit in the first inning. Piniella fouls one back over the roof. 3 runs charged to Sproul. Only 1 hit but 4 walks. Stanley relieved in the first, gave up a 2-run single to Nettles and got Roy White on a grounder. 2 on, 2 gone. Stanley's pitch, foul by Piniella off the foot of the plate umpire, Jimmy Evans. Starting with Yankee coach Dick Hauser, who was a very astute baseball man last night. Dick was giving me his theory on the improvement of a lot of umpires in the American League, including Jimmy Evans. I'll talk to you about it in a minute. This one is drilled. Base hit into left field by Piniella. Here comes Randolph. Munson digging hard, and they have a play. He is going to be out at the plate. Munson is out. Randolph scores. The inning is over, and at the end of 1.5, it's the Yankees 5 and Boston nothing. Let's look at that last play once again. Piniella ripped the single to left field. Randolph scored from third base easily. Munson trying to score was thrown out on a direct throw from Yastrzemski to Fisk to end the inning. Piniella got a run batted in, and the recap on the inning: 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and a man left. Brent?
And Frank Carl Yastrzemski, who will lead off here in the bottom of the second, gets a hand from the fans here in Fenway Park. An excellent throw. Yastrzemski, 39 years old, tremendous athlete, a great ball player. And the thing that stands out in my mind, Frank, is he can still play the defense. He can play left field and can play with anybody.
All right, he's a left-hand hitter, batting .284. 1 for 11 in the series. Bunts foul. Tried to bunt himself on. I'll tell you, as the Red Sox playing rather disorganized ball in the first 3 games of this series, The steadiest man on the field has been Yastrzemski. He made 2 outstanding catches yesterday. Just unbelievable catches on Reggie Jackson and Thurman Munson. Figgy's pitch is in the dirt, bounces up, hits Munson on the right side of the head. Did not hit the mask. Thurman turned his head on it. A cardinal rule for catcher is to keep his head straight forward where he's protected. Thurman turned his head and got hit.
Frank, it's always tough to keep your head right there. You see the ball bounce, and your first reaction is to turn your head. Of course, it's very difficult to get Thurman Munson out of a ball game. He's been hit in the head by a pitch ball. He's been hit on the forearm, has a tremendous lump on his forearm, and now just get hit in the side of the head with a bouncer. I believe it was a curveball.
Count is 1-1 on Yes. Figgy deals again. Off-speed pitch outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Figueroa gave up a walk to Burleson in the first, and then got a big break when Lynn hit a line drive at Chambliss, who caught it and turned it into a double play. Yes takes the strike, and he's upset. Yastrzemski is really joined at the plate umpire. Yastrzemski thought the pitch was low. Jim Evans, we started to say, Jim Evans was one umpire cited by Dick Hauser as having improved so much by going to the inside chest protector, allowing him to get down lower behind the plate on balls and strikes. Hauser said that is not the case with all umpires. 2-2 pitch. Line to center field. Rivers is there, and he's got it. Mickey Rivers going back and to his left, away from the glove, made the catch. Hauser feels that umpires like Nestor Shylock, Bill Haller, and some others do not need any assistance, as they are just excellent umpires. Marty Springstead is another one he cites as being a fine umpire. But he feels that certain people like Jimmy Evans, Dave Phillips, who have worked hard to improve themselves as umpires, have really improved by going to the inside chest protector, improved themselves behind the plate. One man's opinion. Carlton Fisk, the batter, he squared the butt, takes the strike. Fisk is hitting .297, 20 home runs, 79 runs batted in, and 3 for 7 in this series. Today, when Dick Hauser starts talking about baseball, I listen. He's a very astute baseball man.
Yes, he is, Frank.
1 strike pitch, grounded to shortstop. Nettles cuts in front of Dent, spins around and throws him out. Greg Nettles cut in front of Dent, fielded the ball, spun all the way around, and still threw Fisk out. 2 down.
Frank, a great play on Nettles, and of course, Yankee fans are so used to seeing that play by Nettles. It's become a play that they expect from Nettles, but a very tough play. And he does it so well. He also makes that play very well going to the foul line.
Right fielder Gary Hancock, the batter. He's a left-hand hitter. Takes low from Figgy. Hancock is batting .222. 3 doubles, 3 RBIs. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The Yankees lead 5-0 here in the bottom half of the second. 2 outs and nobody on. Figueroa straightens and deals. Hancock swings. It's a ground ball to Dent's left. Bucky scoops it up one-handed, throws to first. He's out, and that retires the side. End of 2. The Yankees 5, the Red Sox nothing.
The Yankees announced today that they have recalled 3 players from their Tacoma ball club AAA affiliate. Jerry Narron, a catcher. Brian Doyle, an infielder. And Larry McCall, a pitcher. Frank?
Chris Chambliss leads off the top half of the 3rd inning. And the first pitch from Stanley is in for a called strike. Chambliss was the last man faced by the starter Bobby Sproul. He walked Chambliss and walked himself out of the game. Stanley's next pitch is down there for a called strike at the knees, 0-2.
Frank, they just turned the lights on here at Fenway Park.
Well, we mentioned earlier the skies are cloudy. There is no threat of rain yet. But cloudy skies, the lights are on. The windup by Stanley, the pitch inside to Chris. The Yankees were able to call those 3 young men up because the Tacoma season has ended in a tie. Tacoma and Albuquerque got rained out again last night, and they called the whole thing off. Fly ball is hit to left field. Yaz is there, makes the catch. They got rained out again last night in the playoffs, and they declared Tacoma and Albuquerque co-champions of the Pacific Coast League. I guess, I don't know. What you start, you ought to finish. Sometimes game gets rained out, and no season get rained out. But it did. Greg Nettles up. takes low and outside. Greg singled his first trip, extending his hitting streak to 10 games. Stanley working quickly, brings it. Nettles fouls it outside of first. A 1-1. So the Tacoma Yankees and the Albuquerque Club were declared co-champions of the Pacific Coast League. The season ended in the rain last night. No game played. 1-1 pitch coming. Inside. Nettles had to get back.
Frank, I'm sure the Yankees would have given consideration to call up Gary Smith, the outfielder, although Smith fractured his wrist and will miss the remaining of the season.
Nettles drills one past first. Fair ball down the line. Fielded off the boxy ball by Hancock, who fires in quickly and holds Nettles to a single. Greg hit that one between Scott and the line, just barely fair. And Greg Nettles is 2 for 2 with his 5th hit in this series. Right now, 20 seconds for our local stations to identify themselves. Takes a strike over the outside corner. Roy grounded out into a 3-6 fourth play to end the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. Batting .256 at the moment, 8 home runs. He takes low and outside. The Yankees statistics sheet, somewhere along the line, they lost one of Roy's home runs this year. So every time he looks up there at the scoreboard, he sees the 7 in the home run column, but he has hit 8, believe me. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. The stats are turned into a computer, but of course they have to be fed in by each individual club. So somewhere along the line, they misplaced one of Roy's home runs. I hope they'll find it. So does Roy. Matters more to him than me. He loops this one out into left field, and it is off the glove of Burleson going back and drops into the base hit. Throw to second, Nettles is safe. Burleson made a good effort for it. Little humpback line drive, and Burleson went back into left field. The ball kicked off his glove and fell in. A base hit. Quick throw back to second base, but Nettles got there ahead of the throw. Well, the Yankees now with 1 out have runners at first and second, and Bucky Dent is the batter. Bucko single, stole a base and scored a run in the second inning. He's now hit in 10 straight games. Andy Hasper, left-hander, is up again in the Boston bullpen. The Yankees now have 8 hits in this game, 7 off reliever Bob Stanley. Right-hander's pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. The Yankees got only 1 hit off Sproul, but he walked 4 men and gave up 3 runs. Stanley's pitch is hit on the ground, is short. They may get 2. Burleson goes to Remy for 1. Back to first, double play, 6-4-3. At the end of 2.5, it's New York 5, Boston nothing. George Scott leads off, takes high, ball 1. The Boomer is hitting .237 with 11 homers, 49 runs batted in. He is 0 for 9 in this series. Biggie's pitch, hit in the air down the right field line. It is slicing toward the stands. Foul ball. Foul ball in the right field stand. Lou Piniella, who gave it a good run, slowly walks back to his position. Scott was running hard down to first base, will come back. A little known fact here at Fenway Park. It is 315 feet to the left field foul pole. To the right field foul pole, it is 302 feet. Pitch to Scotty is swung on and missed. However, from the foul pole, the ball goes straight back in right field to a depth of 380 feet. Scott takes low and in, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you hit one just right down the line and hook it around the foul pole, you can get a 303-foot home run here in right field. 2-2 pitch. Low and outside. I've seen some balls that have just hooked around that foul pole, even hit that foul pole. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Scott is 0 for 10. Figueroa gets his second strikeout, Brent.
Frank, some of our pregame guests received gift certificates for dinner for 2 at Victoria Station. Tonight, try a restaurant that's really a cut above. Victoria Station for excellent prime ribs in a unique railroad atmosphere. Victoria Station in Darien, Yonkers, and East Brunswick.
Butch Hobson swings and misses. Hobson is 1 for 10 in the series, batting .243, 20 doubles, 2 triples, 15 homers, 68 runs batted in for the year. Biggie delivers high this time, and the count squares off at 1-1. The Yankees lead 5-0. The Yankees scored 3 runs in the first, got 2 more in the second. Figueroa's pitch. High, ball 2-1. If the Yankees win this game for a sweep of the series, they would have tied the Red Sox. The Red Sox win, the Yankees would be 2 games out. Figueroa's pitch coming. Strike called. 2-2. Very quietly, waiting back in the wings, the Milwaukee Brewers. They're not saying anything. They're laying back there just 4.5 games out of first place. Pitch is low and outside, ball 3. A lot of significance attached to the Yankee-Brewer games in New York, Fran, with the Brewers just very quietly doing their job day by day.
I think that's the 18th and 19th of September. 2 big game series.
Fly ball is hit to deep center. Long run for Rivers. He may not get to it and does not. The ball hits in deep center field off the wall, and Hobson pulls in at second base with a double. First base hit off Figueroa, and that was hit a ton, 380 feet off the wall in center field. And now Jerry Remy pressed into action. Despite the fact he has had difficulty swinging the bat, they feel that they need him in there defensively, and as a leader on this ball club, even though he's only 25 years old, he was the team captain of the California Angels for a couple of years, and inspiration to his teammates. He's a left-hand batter, hitting .274, up with a runner at second and 1 out. Figueroa turns him up high, ball 1. I think Remy, with a bad wrist, might have a little more trouble getting around on a fastball. He chokes up a couple of inches on the bat handle. Left-hand hitter and the pitch. He swings and hits it in the air to center field. Rivers will be there and makes the catch. Ball was hit into shallow center, and Rivers had him play perfectly.
And Frank, Remy did not hit that ball that bad. Of course, with a bad wrist, what will happen is you will not have that good bat speed. You'll end up waiting a little bit longer on the ball. Now let's pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
2 out. Runner at second. Rick Burleson, the batter. Right-hand hitter walked in the first inning. Takes the curve for a strike. The runner at second base. The Yankees have a 5-0 lead here in the third. Figueroa kicks and delivers. A breaking ball high and away, and the count is 1-1 on Burleson. Figueroa lifetime against the Red Sox is 8-7. He had a fantastic record before he joined the Yankees, but it's evened up some. He comes in high. 2 balls and a strike. He looks back at second for Hobson, and the pitch. Bouncing ball left side. Neville's got a high bounce off the left shoulder. Throws on the first to retire the side. Bill White will be with you for the next 3 innings, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. At the end of 3, it's the Yankees 5, the Red Sox nothing.
Mickey Rivers steps in to face Bob Stanley. Here at the play-by-play, Bill White.
All right, Fran, and Mick backs off a fastball that's down low. Mickey has walked and scored. He's stolen a base, and he's struck out. Oh, he's 0 for 1. Yankees lead 5-0, batting in the 4th inning. Stanley's next pitch to Rivers. Foul straight back and over our heads and out of play. It's 1-1. It'll be Rivers, Randolph, and Munson, the top third of the Yankee batting order, against Bob Stanley. Stanley relieving rookie left-hander Bob Sproul. 1-1 pitch. High bouncer and grabbed by Stanley. Little flip to Scott, then got to Rivers.
Sure, let's take a moment and wish our producer, Pam Boucher, a happy birthday.
Yeah, Pam's about 18 today. Happy birthday to Pamela Boucher Jones. Here's Willie Randolph, the second baseman. He's walked, singled, and scored. Willie now has a 7-game hitting streak going. Bounces one foul back to the screen. Randolph 6 for 13 against Red Sox pitching through these First 4 ball games. On deck is Sarah Munson. Stanley rocks and deals. Hit on the ground through the right side. Base hit for Randolph. Willie waited on that ball, a slider away, and went through the right side, picking up his second base hit of this ball game and his 7th of the series. So with 1 out, that'll bring on Theron Munson.
So as we said time and again, the only way you can beat the Yankees, keep Rivers and Randolph off base. This series, the Red Sox have had a problem doing this. And right now, Randolph on first base, and I'm sure he wants to get in scoring position for Theron Munson so we can look for a steal.
You know, in this series, the Red Sox have had trouble keeping anybody off base. The Yankees had 21 base hits in the opener, 17 Friday, 11 yesterday, and they've got 9 already here today. Munson 1 for 2. There goes Randolph. Pitch is swung on and fouled off. Munson grounded into a double play in the first and bunted for a base hit against Stanley in the second.
Bill Randolph's been getting excellent jumps off the base recently, off first base especially. He was doing this early in the year until he hurt his leg, and then he had to lay back, stay on the base, and not try to aggravate the injury. He said he's been working with weight.
Hey, Willie's one-ball player. The Yankees certainly cannot afford to lose. Throw the first base, and Randolph gets back. Takes a big lead off Stanley, who checks him. Another throw to first base. Randolph dives back. He's safe. George Scott trying to break his arm with the tag. I'd hate to be hit on the arm by George Scott. Randolph pawing off first. Here's a set. Pitch to Munson. Swung on, looped into shallow right. Coming on is Hancock. Still coming on the run and can't get to it. And Randolph will go into second base. Gary Hancock started back, got a late jump, then came on, and the wind just blew the ball back in. Remy, the second baseman, couldn't get to it. Hancock short-hopped it, fell down, and Randolph went on to second base, and Munson gets another base hit.
44.
Well, you got to say, Fran Healy, that so far all of the breaks have gone to the Yankees, but we were talking about over there, about where your outfield plays. Now, the Yankees are gambling, playing their outfield in shallow, and they're catching balls like that. The Red Sox are playing it safe.
Right, so the Yankees have to gamble. They came in, they had to pick up 4 games. They played aggressive baseball. They are getting the breaks to Red Sox. Got the break early in the year, played at a torrid pace.
Here's Jackson. Reggie has driven in 2 runs with a single and a bounce out. Setting the pitch. Swung on, line, grabbed by on 1 hop by Scott. Nobody's covering first base, and everybody's safe. And the bases are loaded. A 1-hop shot caught by Scott, way behind first base in fair territory. Stanley did not break for the bag.
Still, that's a play that's practiced more than any play in baseball. The ball hit to that side of the infield, the pitcher automatically runs over. The first baseman will either give him the ball or take it himself. Right there, Stanley did not break the first base. Scott, a great play on Jackson. Scott could not get up to beat Jackson to first base. Stanley did not go over to cover the base.
Well, that's the one play, too, Frank, Fran, that the pitcher really doesn't know what to do because his job, if the ball gets through, is to back up home plate. So he's sort of caught between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
He doesn't know where to go on the first base, or if the ball had gotten past Scott, then, of course, he'd have to get behind the plate. And the one play that really a pitcher sort of, he just really doesn't know what to do.
Right, that would be a tough play, but as soon as he sees the ball not go by the first base, he has to dash the first base. He has to beat the hitter over there. Of course, that would have been a tough ball for Hancock to throw Randolph out at home plate on him.
Here's Lou Piniella, and he takes low ball 1. The Yankees have the bases loaded. 1 away here in the 4th inning. They lead the Red Sox by a score of 5-0. That was the Yankees' 11th base hit through the first 4 innings. The pitch on the inside corner, called strike on Piniella. It's 1-1. Yankees playing excellent, aggressive baseball, taking advantage of every opportunity to score a run. 1-1 pitch. Low, 2 balls and a strike on Piniella. The Red Sox, of course, have helped. They've committed 11 errors against the Yankees through these first 3 games, plus this one. 2-1. Hit in the air to right field. That's far enough to score a run. Hancock is there. He makes the catch. Randolph tags the third. He'll score. And going to third base is Munson. For some reason, Hancock threw the ball home instead of going to third base, and Scott had to cut it off. And Randolph scored easily. Yankees now lead 6-0.
So on that fly ball right there, Munson was going to hold at second base. Right now, Dan Zimmer, the manager of the Red Sox, walked out to the mound. Munson was going to stay at second base. He thought Hancock would make a play at third base. When the ball was thrown towards home plate, Munson broke to third, forced Scott to cut off the ball, and there was no play on Munson. And Zimmer goes to the bullpen, and there's a break in the action. What's the score? In New York, 6. The Red Sox, nothing. Okay, the Red Sox have a big left-hander on the mound. 6'5", 215-pound Andy Hassler. He'll be allowed 8 warm-up tosses. The Yankees with a 6-run lead. Top of the 4th inning. And I'm sure the Red Sox confused. The Yankees with runners on the corners. Jackson on first. Munson on third. Take a look at Hassler's stats. He's 1-0 on the year with a 4.11. Correction, 2-4 on the year, 4.28 ERA. He was 1-0 with Kansas City. He has no saves, and he's been used primarily as a long man. He ain't a spot starter for the Boston Red Sox. He will face Chambers, and then Nettle. There's 2 outs. Once again, the Yankees with Jackson on first and Munson on third base. Let's take a look at the National League Eastern Division standings. Philadelphia on top of the Pirates by 4 games. The Cubs 7.5 back. The Montreal Expos 12 games out. St. Louis Cards 18 back. And the New York Mets in the cellar 21 games out of first place. Okay, Chris Shambles steps in to face Andy Hassler. Bill?
Shambles has walked. He slides to left field. Yankees have runners at first and third. They're 2 outs, and they lead 6-0 over the Boston Red Sox here in the 4th inning. Hassler pitched before in the series. Deals to Chambliss. The fastball that's low and outside. Ball 1. And he got him to the opener here on Thursday night. Pitched 2+ innings. Gave up 2 runs on 7 base hits. Now he's set. Deals to Chambliss. There goes Jackson. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second, and Jackson's out. The shortstop, Rick Burleson, putting on the tag. Yankees score a run on 3 base hits to leave a man on base. At the end of 3.5 innings of play. The Yankees 6, the Red Sox nothing.
Fred Lynn steps in to face Ed Figueroa. The score, New York 6, Boston nothing. Bill?
Lynn's been up once and lined into a double play. A left-handed batter, and he takes Figueroa's first pitch too high, ball 1. It'll be Lynn, Rice, and Yastrzemski against Ed Figueroa here in the 4th inning. That ball is low. It's 2 balls in those shots. Figueroa's given up 1 base hit so far, a double by Butch Hobson. The last inning with 1 out, but Hobson was left stranded as Remy slid to center and Burleson bounced out. Low ball 3 on Lynn, 3-0. On deck is Jim Rice. Figueroa rocks and deals a 3-0 pitch. It'll be taken, and it's high, ball 4. Lynn walks on 4 pitches, the second walk given up by Figueroa. And here's big Jim Rice, the designated hitter. Figueroa struck him out in the 1st inning. Rice 3 for 12 so far in the series. Batting at .324, 38 home runs, 121 runs batted in on the year. He's already had a good year. Now Biggie's set. Deals to Rice. Down low, ball 1. Kneeling on deck is Carl Yastrzemski, the left fielder for the Sox. The 1-0 pitch to Rice. Swung on and fouled back. It's 1-1. Well, the Yankees have already finessed the Red Sox out of their best relief pitcher, Bob Stanley. Don Zimmer had to use him early as Bob Sproul, the young starter, only went 2/3 of an inning. Stanley coming on in the 1st inning, going 3. And of course, he's finished. Stanley had won 13 ball games and lost just 2 with the Red Sox coming out of the bullpen. Also picking up 8 saves. Rice hits one in the air, shallow center field. Mickey Rivers with the glasses down coming in. Still coming in and makes the catch. And Lynn has to hustle back to first base. 1 out. I think the key so far these 3 games, Fran Healy, Fred Lynn has 1 for 10. Jim Wright now is 3 for 13. Carl Yastrzemski is 2 for 12. Carlton Fisk is 3 for 8. So they've kept the middle part of the batting order from getting too many base hits.
Right, and the thing I'm impressed with the Yankee pitching is Jim Rice has yet to get an RBI in this series.
And all 3 of his base hits have been singles. Pitch Diaz on the outside corner, called strike. Now Campbell playing behind Lynn at first base. Yankees have a 6-0 lead with the Red Sox batting in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Now Figueroa set. Checks Lynn. Pitch Diaz. Breaking ball is too high. It's 1-1. Figueroa working quickly. He's at the belt. 1-1 pitch Diaz. High fastball, high and away. It's 2-1. Yankees now have 60 base hits against Red Sox pitching so far in this series. They've got 5 more at bats. 2-1 pitch Diaz. Low ball, 3 balls and a strike. They got 21 base hits here Thursday, 17 Friday, 11 yesterday, and 11 so far today. And they have scored 41 runs. Now Figgy set. 3-1 pitch to Yaz. Ball 4 too high, and Yaz walks. Third pass given up by Figueroa. So Yaz goes to first base. Lynn goes on down to second. And that'll bring on Carlton Fisk, the catcher.
Still Figueroa, strong suit, control. He usually has good location when he throws the fastball. Right now, might be trying to be a little bit too fine.
Well, here's Fisk with 20 home runs and 79 runs batted in. Nettles made a fine play on him in the second inning when he went far to his left in front of Dent, spun around and threw Fisk out. Fisk 3 for 8 so far in the series. 2 on, 1 out. Yankees ahead 6-0. Red Sox batting in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Figgy's at the belt. And the pitch to Fisk. Swung on, hit on the ground. Fair ball inside the third baseline. Will go into the corner. 1 run will score. Yastrzemski around third base. He'll be held there as White Stroll goes into third. Fisk holds the second with a double. Yankees now lead 6-1.
If you're going to get in trouble, that's the way to do it. You have to throw strikes, let the batter hit the ball someplace. Give your fielders a chance to make a play.
Now Bob Lemon comes off the Yankee bench, and Ellie Howard grabs his phone in the Yankee bullpen out of left field, and the bullpen's going to get busy.
Still, I'm sure Bob Lemon right now just wants to calm Figueroa down. Probably tell him he's trying to be too fine. Kenny Clay gets up from the New York Yankee bullpen. Bob Lemon out there on the mound chatting with his pitcher, Ed Figueroa. Gets a smile out of his pitcher. Herman Munson on the mound. Figueroa will face Jerry Hancock. The Red Sox with 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees still with the 5-run lead. The score, New York 6, Boston 1.
Oh, Wilders has gotten Figueroa in trouble here in the 4th inning. He walked Lynn, got Rice on a pop-up, then walked Yastrzemski. Pitch to Hancock. Taken for a strike. Yankees keep their infield back except for Nettles at third base, so they're willing to give up another run here. Hancock has been up once, bounced out to Bucky Dent, who threw him out from behind second base. The 1-strike pitch. Breaking ball just misses outside. It's 1-1. Yastrzemski at third base. Fisk down at second. There's 1 away. Red Sox have finally gotten on the board here in the 4th inning. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball just missed outside. 2-1. Figgy trying for the outside corner with the slider and missing. Figueroa looks in for his time for Munson. He rocks. 2-1 pitch. Hit foul off the left side upon the roof, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hancock. Meadows backs up a little at third base now. Dent's playing shortstop. Randolph playing at second base, and Chambliss at first. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Gary Hancock. That ball is low, ball 3. Full count. Roy White, Mickey Rivers, Lou Pennell in the outfield playing straight away with Rivers playing a shallow center field. 3-2 pitch, hit in the air to left center. Rivers after it goes White. White on the warning track and makes the catch. Yastrzemski will tag, he'll score. And Fisk tags to second base and goes on to third. Yankees now lead 6-2.
Still White's playing Hancock very well. So that comes from the scouting report. Rivers skating Hancock to pull the ball. Hancock hit the ball left center field. White traveled over, got underneath the ball, made the catch.
So Fisk over third base, 2 outs now, and the batter is George Scott, the first baseman. Scott is 0 for 10 against the Yankees so far in the series. He struck out his last time up. But he's always dangerous. Really takes a good rip at a pitch. First pitch to Boomer. Swung on and fouled off the right side. That'll be out of play. Scott now batting at .236 with 11 home runs and 49 runs batted in. Figueroa gets new ball, working quickly. Here's the one-strike pitch. Swung on, bounced right back to Figueroa. Passing. Nettles up, goes to first, and inside. Campbell's making a good play at first base. And the shot is retired. Ball got past Figueroa, but Nettles made the play. Chambliss also made a good play. Red Sox pick up 2 runs in the fourth. And at the end of 4, the Yankees 6, the Red Sox 2. Chris Chambliss will lead off against Andy Hassler playing the top of the 5th. The Yankees ahead 6-2 over the Red Sox. Chambliss takes down low, ball 1. Chris was up when Reggie Jackson decided to try to steal second base in the 4th inning with runners at first and third, and Jackson was thrown out. Curveball hit in the air to center field. Backing up a couple of steps, Fred Lynn. Now he comes in and makes the catch. 1 out. Greg Nettles, 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in, both his base hit singles. He's now hit in 10 straight ball games. Nettles 5 for 15 against Red Sox pitching so far in the series. Here's Hassler's first pitch to Nettles. Fastball that misses outside, ball 1. Nettles wants that baseball inspected by Jim Evans, and the home plate umpire will throw it out. 1 ball and no strikes on Nettles. On deck is Roy White. Here's Hassler's next pitch. Breaking ball. He went too far. Nettles tried to hold up, went too far. It's a ball and a strike.
Still, Hassler come up with the California Angels at the time. Many of the hitters in the American League felt he had better stuff than Frank Tanana. His big problem, trouble throwing strikes.
1-1 pitch. Inside, missing inside, 2-1. It's hard to be a relief pitcher and not throw strikes. It's hard to be a pitcher and not throw strikes.
Right. His fastball moves so much and moves out of the strike zone.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Almost hits Nettles inside, 3-1. Yankees 6 runs on 11 base hits. The Boston Red Sox 2 runs on 2 base hits against Ed Figueroa. The Yankees are batting in the 5th inning with 1 out and nobody on. Here's Hassler's 3-1 pitch to Nettles. Swung on and missed. 3-2. Nettles. 23 home runs, 81 runs batted in. Payoff pitch. Ball 4 inside. Nettles walks. He'll go to first base with 1 away, and that'll bring on Roy White, and we'll take 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Baseball Network. Here's Roy White, switch hitter in right-handed against Hassler. Roy's forced a runner and singled it upfield. He's 1 for 2. On deck is Bucky Dent. Nettles off first. Takes a big lead at first base. And Hassler goes there. Not a good move. Nettles, not one of the faster Yankees, takes probably the biggest lead of any Yankee. Big lead again. Hassler's pitch to White is in the dirt. Knocked down nicely by Carlton Fisk. And Nettles has to stay at first base. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, the Red Sox lead the series 6-5. When the Yankees came in here, they'd only won 2 of 8 against the Red Sox. Of course, they've won 3 in a row here, and they lead this one 6-2, playing the 5th inning. Yankees have won 5 in a row, including 3 in a row with the Red Sox. Move within just 1 game of Boston. After the Yankees leave, those tough Baltimore Orioles come on in here. Pretty good pitching. I understand Jim Palmer pitched one of the 2 games against the Sox. Now Hasler's ready. And the pitch. Curveball misses low. 2 balls, no strikes on Roy White. In fact, Baltimore's here already, Fran Healy, a rare Sunday afternoon off from a baseball game.
It is rare.
Orioles moving into the same hotel the Yankees are leaving. Fastball to White, hit on the ground, and off the glove of Burleson. Nettles will hold at second base. Yastrzemski gets over and bobbles the ball, but Nettles had already committed himself to second, so he'll stay there. So Roy White gets another base hit. He's now 2 for 3, and Nettles holding at second base.
Still a tough chance for Rick Burleson. Burleson usually makes that play, but the man on first base was trying to force the runner at second base.
He might have been cheating just a bit towards second for that double play, and the ball was hit in the hole, and he got there off the glove. Of course, the Red Sox are saying that's been happening the whole series. But they only have themselves to blame for not making the plays. The Yankees are making the same play. Bucket and a single and grounded into a double play. He's 1 for 2. One thing I like about Zimmer, he has not made any excuses at all, the Red Sox manager. He just says we're not playing well. Now the Yankees, runners first and second, 1 out for Dent. Hasler set. And the pitch. Hit on the ground, a shortstop, might be 2. Burleson bobbles, but goes to second for 1. Back to first, double play. Burleson bobbled that ball just for a second, but got it out in time to start the double play. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base. At the end of 4 1/2, the Yankees lead Boston 6-2. Butch Hobson takes outside from Ed Figueroa. Hobson leading off with the Red Sox in the 5th inning. Yankees lead 6-2. Hobson, one of the 2 base hits, a double in the 3rd inning. Follows this one back. It's 1-1.
National League scoreboard, it's New York 2, Pittsburgh 1 after 2. The Cards 6, the Phillies 1 after 6 innings in Philadelphia. Chicago 3, Montreal 1 after 4. Cincinnati 2, San Francisco nothing after 4.
1-1 pitch to Hobson is fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The Dodgers 5, the Braves 1 after 3.5. In that ball game, Rick Monday hit his 200th career home run for the Dodgers. San Diego and Houston, later start.
All right, Fran Healy, the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Butch Hobson. The Yankees lead 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Overhand fastball is swung on and missed by Hobson. There's 1 away. The Yankees had been pitching Hobson high, and then Figueroa came up with that sinker down around the knees. That's the 3rd strikeout for Figueroa. And there's 1 away, and the batter's Jerry Remy. Remy hit a soft liner to center field in the 3rd inning. Rivers, playing in shallow, made the catch. A left-handed batter playing with a bad wrist. Tries the bunt, takes high. Ball 1 as he got the bat back. On deck is Rick Burleson, the shortstop. Next pitch to Remy, bunted and grabbed by Figueroa. Underhand toss to Chambliss, got him. Good play by Figueroa that time. Really bounced off. Got the ball one-handed before it went by him and lobbed it over to Chambliss for out number 2. That'll bring on Rick Burleson, the shortstop, who's walked and bounced out. Burleson, a right-handed batter. The Yankees play him straight away. Here's Figueroa's first pitch. Hit on the ground to third. Nettles dives. He comes up, throws on the first base. They've got him. Greg Nettles with another sparkler, and the side is retired. And at the end of 5, the Yankees 6, the Red Sox 2. Counts the ball to strike on Mickey Rivers, leading off against Andy Hasler in the 6th inning. He bounces 1 foul outside of first base, so it's a ball and 2 strikes. The Yankees 6 runs on 12 base hits. The Boston Red Sox 2 runs on just 2 base hits. So far in this series have played excellent baseball. hitting, running, stealing bases, making great plays defensively. Fouled back and out of play. And on the other hand, the Red Sox have not made the plays. They have not hit. They have not gotten good pitching. Understand the papers here, they have not played good baseball since the coast trip earlier in the year. They lost 2 to the Seattle Mariners. Fouled straight back by Rivers. The count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Looks like they were home free with a 14.5 game lead. It dwindled down to 1. 1-2 to Rivers. Fouled back. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Never can tell about baseball, Fran Ely.
Well, you can't, Joe. Of course, I'm sure the Red Sox, everybody in the American League, counted the Yankees out when they were 14 games back, July 18th. And now they're 1 game out. A chance to get a tie for first place with a victory here.
That 14.5 was the gap between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Hit in the air to shallow left. Backing up is Broken. Coming on is Yastrzemski. And the left fielder, Carl Yastrzemski, makes the play. And there's 1 away.
Of course, all the experts, when they talk about baseball, they talk about pitching and defense. Team pitching, the Yankees lead the American League with a 3.17 ERA over the last 26 games. The Yankees have a 2.07 ERA. Pretty impressive. And for team defense, the Yankees are second in the league in defense for the Orioles.
Here's Willie Randolph. Willie takes the curve down low, ball 1.
Of course, when they came into Boston, they also brought their bats. In a 3-game series, the Yankees are batting .374.
And Randolph is 2 for 2 with 2-run score. Takes high. 2 balls, no strikes.
With 35 runs. It's unbelievable. Over the last 9 games, they're batting .338, scoring 70 runs. I'll take my chances with the ball.
2-0 on Willie Randolph. 1 out and nobody on in the 6th inning. Hasler's next pitch, called strike. It's 2-1. Sox play a Randolph straight away. And a pitch. Swung on and fouled back. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Randolph. Willie did not want to swing at that ball. He went around anyway and just nipped the bat, caught by Fisk. So it's 2-2. Hassler winds, and the pitch. Outside, ball 3, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the payoff pitch to Randolph. Swung on and fouled back. Count remains 3-2. You don't know by now, the Tacoma-Albuquerque series has been called off because of a lot of rain up in the Northwest. The series was tied at 2 games apiece. So they declared Tacoma and Albuquerque the co-champs of the Pacific Coast League. And the Yankees have recalled catcher Jerry Narron, Brian Doyle in infield, and Larry McCall a pitcher from Tacoma. 3-2 pitch to Randolph. Ball 4 outside. Willie walks.
Still in the series here in Boston, including the first 5 innings of this ball game, the Yankees are batting over 400. 401.
Well, they've been mashing. Here's Munson. He's 2 for 3. And 7 for 14 in the series. And he wants the baseball inspected by Jim Evans. And Evans will leave it in play. Sturm now batting at .295, 6 home runs and 65 runs batted in. Grounded into a double play in the first, got a bunt base hit in the second, and singled to right field in the fourth. A looping fly ball to right field that Hancock could not handle. Pitch to Munson. Checks the swing, takes down low, ball 1.
So here's a situation I'm sure Randolph would like to get a jump and steal second base.
Oh, Hassler bending forward, looking for a sign. He sets. There goes Randolph. The pitch is swung on and fouled off. And Willie will have to go back to first base.
Of course, after this series, the Yankees travel to Detroit Big 3-game series against the Tigers. Tidrow against Kip Young. Jim Beattie against Billingham. And Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning. 21-2 against Jim Clayton. 21-2.
That'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights in Detroit. Yankees are off tomorrow. In fact, Beattie is going to get married. Is he going to get married tonight or tomorrow? He's getting married tonight, I think.
Tonight.
Set. There goes Randolph again. The pitch is inside. Throw down to second. Will not be in time. Goes into center field, and Randolph will go on to third. And Lynn decides to walk the ball in. Then he tosses it into Jerry Remy. A stolen base for Willie Randolph and an error on the catcher, Carlton Fisk.
Very tough for Fisk, or any catcher, caught a guy like Willie Randolph. Randolph getting better in all departments of his game, and especially in the stolen base department. Great speed, and can get a great jump. Right now in the Boston Red Sox bullpen, the spaceman, Bill Lee.
That's Randolph's 31st stolen base. He's only been caught 7 times. The Red Sox will have to bring their infield in. The count, 2 balls and a strike on third. Munson run away. The Yankees lead 6-2 in the 6th inning. Hobson, Burleson, Remy, Scott all around the infield. Check swing, fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes on third. Munson. Gets the same baseball, decides to rub it up. Thurman 2 for 3 in the game so far. Chance to pick up a run batted in here. The Yankees lead by 4 in the 6th inning. Now Hassler set. 2-2 pitch to Munson. He tried to check a swing and did. They checked the first base umpire, Durwood Merrill, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was close. Dick Hauser, the Yankee third base coach, and Gene Michael coaching at first base. Hassler now saddles the rubber. Then Ford for sign. Still looking. Now he's set. Checks Randolph at third base. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Ball gets away from Fisk. Munson going back to the dugout. He'll be tagged by Fisk. And Randolph has to hold at third base. 2 out. Big strikeout for Andy Hassler.
Phil, now Fisk has to go over and tag Munson, because Munson can go all the way back to that dugout. If he does not touch the step, he can take off and run to first base, get back in the first line, and run to first. So you have to go over and tag him. Or throw to first base.
Yep. Make the tag at first base. Here's Jackson. Now the Red Sox take their infield back, except for Butch Hobson at third base. 2 outs. Randolph at third. Jackson is 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. He now has 79 on the year. But you got a key base hit in the first inning, driving in the Yankees' first run. It's this one foul off the left side. It'll be back out of play.
So when Hassler was with Kansas City, he told me out there he was going to pitch a game against the Yankees. He gets sky high when he pitches against Reggie Jackson, because Jackson insulted him one year in spring training. I think he called him rookie or something like that.
Oh, he hasn't been the only rookie called a rookie.
Right, well, he's considered an insult to sky high, and Jackson said he wanted a couple of left-handers on him in the American League.
No balls and a strike on Reggie Jackson with 2 outs. Randolph off third and the pitch. Third ball, Jackson backed off and he got the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's pretty easy now to hurt the feelings of rookie pitching.
Check that. It's no balls and 2 strikes on Jackson. Hassler rock. And the pitch. Pop foul. That'll be out of play. Fisk giving chase, but it's about 6 rows back. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. What did they call you when you first came up?
Rookie?
That's right.
No respect.
Hey, Rook.
That's right.
Your turn to bat, your turn to run, your turn to field.
And don't take too many of any.
And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Reggie Jackson. with a new ball, taking plenty of time. Randolph easing off third. And Jackson backs out, and time is called. Willie will walk back toward third base. Ball game slowing down just a little bit here in the sixth inning. The Yankees leading 6-2. They have a runner at third, 2 out. And a 2-strike count on Jackson. Now the pitch. Check swing foul into the Yankee dugout and grabbed by Mickey Rivers sitting on the top step. But still 2 strikes on Jackson.
Well, if Hassler could stay in the strike zone consistently, he would be a 20-game winner. He has excellent stuff.
Now the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. Got it with a breaking ball. Jackson goes down swinging side to side. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. Bottom of the 6th coming up. The Yankees 6, the Red Sox 2.
Day is coming up at Yankee Stadium Saturday, September 30th. Every fan who comes out to see the Yankees take on the Cleveland Indians that day will get one of those great thermal marks.
Red Lindless one in the air to left. That's going to be at least off the wall, and it's off the screen for a home run. Red Lynn swing on Figueroa's first pitch here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's a high fly ball, but made the screen for a Red Sox home run. And the Yankees now lead 6-3. That's the 21st home run of the year for Fred Lynn.
That was a ball out over the plate. Freddie Lynn hit the ball where it was pitched, got it up in the air, just enough to get it up in the screen here in Fenway Park.
Here's Jim Rice. He struck out and flied out. Fouls the first pitch back. Yankee bullpen starts wandering around out there. Goose Gossage gets up this time. Gossage starts loosening up. The 1-strike pitch to Rice is outside. It's 1-1. Bottom half of the 6th inning, the Yankees ahead 6-3. With a count of ball to strike on Jim Rice. The next pitch is inside. It's 2-1. On deck is Carl Yastrzemski. Figueroa's given up just 3 base hits in this ball game. The pitch. Swung on it. High in the air, left field again. Roy White backing up. In the middle of the warning track. Now he comes in a step and makes the catch. Boy, in this ballpark, every ball hit in the air, you got to sort of wait.
You see, you really do, and it's like the players will say, he just missed it. He hit the ball hard, but he hit it right up in the air and just short of the left field wall.
Well, there's 1 out, nobody on for Carl Yastrzemski, who slid to center field and walked and scored. The Red Sox captain really hustling. He's made 2 fine plays in left field. He's thrown a runner out in this series. Pitch one to right field. After it's Piniella, and Lou makes the catch on the run in right center. 2 out.
And Bill, another ball hit right on the nose, this time by Carl Yastrzemski. I'm sure Bob Lemon a bit concerned at how these balls have been hit. One of the reasons for the Goose getting loose out in the bullpen.
Here's Carlton Fisk, the catcher. Nettles threw him out in the 2nd. He doubled in the 4th inning, driving in a run. Fisk batting at .297, 20 home runs and 80 runs batted in. 2 outs, nobody on. The Yankees ahead by 3 in the 6th inning. It's Yankees 6, the Boston Red Sox 3. Fisk, the right-handed batter. Here's Figgy's first pitch. Breaking ball, misses outside, ball 1. Well, quite interesting, Fran Ely. The Yankee pitchers who have beaten the Red Sox here these 3 games have kept the ball in on the hitters instead of away.
Very important in this ballpark. The right-hander looks for the ball out over the plate and tries to pull that pitch.
Ball is high. It's 2 balls, no strikes on Fisk.
And if you get the ball in, you can jam them, break their bat. Tough ball to get the head of the bat out and drive it to left field. The ball from the middle of the plate out is easier to pull in this ballpark.
Here's a 2-0 pitch to Fisk. Called strike, knee high on the inside corner. It's 2-1. Now Fisk backs out. Nettles playing behind the bag and playing Fisk to pull. Shows the shortstop, Bucky Dent. Outfield playing straight away. Here's the 2-1 pitch. On the outside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And once again, Fitz backs up. And 33,000 umpires. Help Jim Evans. Figueroa waiting for Fitz to get back in. And he gets the sign. Now he rocks. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Gary Hancock, the right fielder. Here's the payoff pitch to Fitz. Curveball hits slowly towards shortstop. Bucky then has a nice hop, throws on the chambliss, and the side is retired. The Red Sox pick up a run on the home run by Fred Lynn, and at the end of 6, the Yankees lead Boston 6-3.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Kid Lou Piniella will lead it off here for the New York Yankees. Top of the 7th, a score. The Yankees 6, the Red Sox 3. Andy Hassler on in relief from Bob Stanley. Chambliss will follow Piniella, and then Nettles. Here with the play-by-play, one of the greatest shortstops ever to play the game. The Scooter, Phil Rizzuto.
Well, thank you, Fran Haley. Piniella has walked and scored single and hit a sacrifice fly. And Hassler's pitch, base hit through the middle, right through the legs of the pitcher, and Piniella and Randolph in this 4-game series unbelievably hot.
They really are, and now 20 seconds for our local stations to identify themselves.
Chambliss has walked, fly to left, fly to center. Piniella at first, nobody out. Yanks leading 6-3 in the top of the 7th. Hassler to the belt, pitch low and outside, ball 1. Yankees with 13 hits, all of them singles. Red Sox have 3 hits for 3 runs. Hassler kicks again, and the pitch way on miss. Hassler did some job getting out of that jam with Randolph at third. And only 1 out, striking out Munson and Jackson. Piniella with a short lead at first. Breaking pitch on the inside corner.
Chambliss not very happy with that call. I'm sure he is telling home plate umpire Jim Evans the ball broke around the plate.
Yeah, the way Chris reacted, it looked like it. Hassler sets again. And a high fly, not deep. Lynn with the glasses down. And the center fielder makes the catch, 1 away.
Still in the Red Sox bullpen, Dick Drago and the spaceman, Bill Lee. Listening up.
Greg Nettles has had a perfect day. 2 singles and a walk, 2 runs batted in. Jackson has driven in 2, Piniella 2, and Nettles 2 for the Yankees. Greg at 277. And Hassler's pitch looped out in the center field. Lynn started back, coming in. He's going to miss this one. And you talk about heads up, base running by Piniella. And now Nettles, and he's safe. Holy cow. Piniella very alertly saw Lynn start back and never stopped. Ball should have been caught easily. And then when the throw to third, Nettles alertly slid into second, heads first.
Excellent play on Pinella's part. He saw the ball that was in front of him. He realized it was going to fall. He did not break stride, kept going, tagged second all the way to third base. The ball was thrown to third. Nettles heads up on his way to second with a head-first slide. So a big single by Greg Nettles and some great aggressive base running by the New York Yankees. Have runners on second and third. Roy White the batter, and only 1 out in the top of the 7th.
All right, Fran, and again, the Red Sox have to bring the infield in. Roy White is 2 for 3, bounced to first, and single a left twice. Both times off the glove of Rick Burleson. It's a big inning for the Yankees. The pitch to Roy White, down low, ball 1.
And still the Goose starting to throw again in the Yankee bullpen.
It's a comforting thought to be able to look out there and see the Goose loosening up. Hassler sets again. And a bouncer foul outside of third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Yanks in front 6-3 and threatening here in the top of the 7th. You never feel safe up here at Fenway, especially the way the wind's blowing today. out towards left field. All right, Hassel ready. And a bouncer off the glove of Burleson again. And a great play. Arcetti almost hit either Pinella or Hobson in the head. But Burleson saved a run. And for the third time in the ball game, White has singled off Burleson's glove.
Don Zimmer, the manager of the Boston Red Sox, walking slowly to the mound. Burleson knocked that ball down. And he saw Pinella break. He didn't realize that Pinella was going back to third base, and he threw a bullet at Hudson. Hudson had to be about 3 feet away from him when he threw it. So, there's a break in the action with the score. New York 6, Boston 3.
This is Mel Allen. You know,
Doesn't look good, I know, but it's very warm. All right, Bucky Dent will be the batter. Bucky has singled and twice hit in a double play. The infield is back, and Dick Drago, a right-hand pitcher, will be facing the right-hand hitting Bucky Dent. Yankees lead 6-3 with one out, and the bases loaded here in the top of the seventh. Pinella, Nettles, and White all lead away. And the pitch to Dent. Fly ball, foul back into the seats down the left field line. Boy, White is trying to get as big a jump as possible at first to break up a possible double play and a ground out. Bucky Dent just broke his bat, needs a new one.
Drago threw that fastball out over the plate. Dent went out and tried to rake that ball down left field line, hit the ball on the end of the bat. Broke the bat.
All right, Bucky's been red hot. I believe a 10-game hitting streak now with his hit today.
Yes, he's playing the bat very well. Really too bad he hurt the legs this year. Blocked by Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers gave him a little advice.
What was it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Tough to read his lips from up here.
I hope he said base hit.
Right.
One strike on Bucky Dent. Drago. That's a Freudian slip, and it's inside. 1-1.
Same thing.
No, I didn't mean that. I'll probably get the mail. Dick Drago with a 1-1 count on Bucky Dent. The right hand is set. The kick. And a pitch. There is a base hit to center. One run is in. They're waving Nettles in. Lynn's throw to the plate's going to be close, and he's out. No, he missed him. And then he got him as Nettles had missed home plate. Good call by the plate umpire Evans. Fisk missed Nettles as he slid in, but Gregg slid so far out he missed home plate. And in trying to get back, Fisk went after him and tagged him.
Still an excellent slide by Nettles. He stood a little bit too wide of home plate. The ball beat him, but a tremendous slide. He could not reach home plate. Slid the back part of home plate and missed it with his hand. But an excellent try by Greg Nettles and a beautiful throw by the center fielder Fred Lynn. Now Don Zimmer, the manager, out talking to Drago, and he's going in the bullpen. And Bill Lee will fly in here. The spaceman. And Dick Drago walks off the mound. The fans in center field bleachers here in Boston love Bill Lee. Bill Lee jumps into the cart, and he's on his way into the ball game. Don Zimmer and Carlton Fisk waiting on the mound. And just a note, all box reserved and now general admission seats are completely sold out for next weekend's 3 Red Sox games at the stadium. But there are still some unreserved bleacher tickets remaining. They will be on sale at the stadium box office only until 5 today, and if the tickets remain, from 9 to 5 tomorrow. There's a limit of 4 tickets per game per person. Again, only bleacher seats remain for next weekend's Boston games at Yankee Stadium. And they are being sold in advance at the stadium box office only. This change in policy has been made to avoid turning away late-coming fans and to reduce congestion in the stadium area before these games. And still, a very exciting series for the Yankees fans here in Boston. The Yankees out in front in the 4th game of this crucial series. They hammered the Red Sox the first 3 games. Have you ever played in a series with so much scoring?
No, never. This has been unbelievable. Now, the Yankees, we've mentioned several times, have 16 hits. All of them have been singles. And throughout the whole 4 games, most of the hits have been singles because they have only 2 homers, Reggie Jackson and Lou Canella. have a triple here and there and a few doubles, but basically the single has killed the Red Sox. But I have never seen so much scoring by one team. Now, normally when these two teams meet up here, both teams score a lot, and it's 11-8, 10-9, things like that. But the Yankees have simply overwhelmed the Red Sox in the first three games and lead here 7-3, as you mentioned. Well, the only thing the Yankees have not done in this game that they have done in all the other games is bat around. They almost did in the first inning, sending 8 men to the plate. Here they have 2 out. Runners at second and third. Mickey Rivers will be facing Bill Lee.
Of course, Bill Lee got off to a great start this year and ran into some problems both on the field and with his manager, Don Zimmer. So when he had his problems on the field, Don Zimmer relegated him to the bullpen, used him very little. And the fans have been crying for Bill Lee during this series. Bill Lee has had success against the left-handed swinging Yankees. So now the fans get Bill Lee. And Lee on the season, 10-10 with a 3.50 ERA and no save. He'll face Mickey Rivers here in the top of the 7th inning with runners on second and third. Bill?
All right. Nick is 0 for 3 in the ball game, and the first pitch is swinging a foul, and that Nick Fisk again. He and Munson have been hit all over in this series. Roy White is at third. Bucky Dent down at second. 2 great throws, one by Yastrzemski and one by Lynn, have put off runners at the plate. 2 men are out. Bill Lee swings into the windup. And a looper in the left center, but Lynn to his right is there and makes the run catch. But the Yankees do pick up a run on 4 base hits, no errors, and 2 men left. And at the end of 6.5, the Yankees 7 and the Red Sox 3.
Okay, the Goose, the big right here. Rich Gossage on a release of Ed Figueroa. So Bob Lennon, former pitching great, who handles the pitching staff so very well, goes to his bullpen. And the Goose this year, 9-10. Not very impressive record, but the all-important save column, he has 22, leads the American League. He has a 1.94 earned run average. That's 1.94. He'll face Gary Hancock, the rookie right fielder, who's replaced White Evans. Evans experiencing dizzy spells from being hit on the head. Hancock steps in. The Goose pulls the rubber, and we're set to go. Phil?
All right, Fran. Hancock is bounced to short, hit a sacrifice fly. It's down low, ball 1. First pitch by Gossage. The kick and the pitch right in there. Strike 1 call.
Still, the Goose leads the American League in saves with 22. He has 5 saves and a win in his last 6 appearances.
Now, that a foul just below it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And he has not allowed a run in his last 7 games.
And that's pretty fair country pitching right there. And he's got a job to do here. Figueroa worked 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 3. And the curve just outside, 2-2. After Hancock, it'll be Scott and Hobson to face Gossage. The 2-2 delivery. Fly ball, but it'll go back into the seats down the left side or up on the roof and out of play. Ball really carrying the left field. But so far, only Fred Lynn has been able to take advantage of it. Hancock might have hurt his hand on that swing. He asked for time before stepping in the batter's box. Now he's ready. Goose swings into the windup. The pitch fouled back on the screen. Once again, the 2-2 pitch. Outside, knocked down by Munson, 3-2. And Goose wants a different baseball. the big payoff pitch is on the way, and it's bounced back to the box. Gossage up, over to first, and they got it. And you got to hold your breath when they hit balls towards the pitcher's box. I remember one series in Toronto where Goose butchered a couple that cost us the ball game.
Yes, he did, Phil. Of course, that particular day, very cold up there. Tough to get loose.
All right, he's facing George Scott now. The boomer is struck out and bounced to third. Yankees lead 7-3 in the bottom of the seventh. And the pitch is high, ball one. The 1-0 delivery. High and away, 2-0. Lights have been on through most of the ball game. Occasionally the sun will sneak out. The 2-0 delivery, right down the middle, 2-1. Well, it looks like the Red Sox getting the take sign here late in the ball game. Not now if it's in there, he'll swing. He checks his swing and it's high, 3-1.
Of course, that's unusual today to see that take sign.
I know it. In this series, several times I thought I'd see it, and they swung away, trailing by 10, 11 runs. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 3-2. So on the first two hitters, Gossage has run the count full. We got Hancock on a comebacker. Now 3-2 on George Scott. The payoff pitch. Low, ball four.
Facing a right-hander that throws as hard as Gossage, the left-hander for the Red Sox. The left-handed hitter would have more success hitting the ball the other way off that wall.
No doubt about that. He's tough to pull. Butch Hobson has doubled to deep left center and struck out. Swings and foul tips to strike one. On deck, Jerry Remy. Red Sox have missed him. He's a pepper pot of this club. Fly hit that off the end of the bat. White will have a lot of room, moving in under it near the line, and makes the catch. That was a break for the Yankees, fan.
Yes, it was. Hobson got to pull an outside fastball, hit the ball off the end of the bat. Of course, Hobson, I've seen him hit the ball the other way into that bullpen. A lot of power the other way, similar to Jim Wright. Of course, having problems right now with his elbow. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Jerry Remy. It'll be Jack Brohammer. Zimmer said before the ball game that Remy could play defense. He felt it would be a psychological lift to have Remy in the ball game. But right now, he needs a bat, so he has to take Remy out. Remy having problems swinging the bat because of a wrist, fractured wrist.
All right, so Brohammer will come on. He's batting .240 with one homer and 23 runs batted in. 2 out. George Scott at first in the bottom of the seventh. The Yankees in front 7-3. Loosening up outside the batter's box. And on deck, Rick Burleson. Bohan is still not ready, adjusting the golf club. Got 1 foot in the batter's box. Now he's ready. Gossage set, and a pitch low inside, ball one. Goose ready again. Fastball right down the middle, 1-1. Foul over our heads and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rivers continuing to play that shallow center field. He's been burned only once. That was Hobson's double in the 3rd inning of this ball game. But he's caught a lot of short fly balls, would have been base hits. A foul that I believe hit Munson on the mask. Yep. Simon shakes it off. He's been hit all over like Fisk in this series. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Stretched by Gossage. And just outside 2-2. Herman tried to pull that pitch over the corner, didn't get away with it. Now the goose ready. Drive down the right field line. That's trouble. And it bounces off the wall. Pinella up. Gets it in, and they're waving Scott in, but Scott didn't see the sign. Now ball bounces off Chambliss, and going to third is Brohammer. I tell you what happened as Pinella picked that ball up. He started his throw, and as he started his throw, he hit the wall. It took a lot off his throw. Eddie Yost was waving Scott home, but Scott stopped, didn't look at him. Finally decided to go, and if Chambliss had come up with the ball that was rolling in, they'd have had him at the plate, but it bounced over his glove. And now it's the Yankees 7, the Red Sox 4, and a double by Brohammer. And we'll have to wait and see if there's an error on that play.
Still, I think that Scott took for granted that he could not score from first base on that ball.
Well, that's what it is. A double, no RBI, and error charge to Pinella. Brohammer at third. And Burleson, the batter, takes it high. Two men out. Dangerous Fred Lynn on deck.
And a big run right now, Phil, on third base. Big run.
Eddie Yost just whistled Burleson out, probably taking a pitch, and he does, and it's over. Strike ball, 1-1. They have changed the error now. They have charged Chambliss with the error. The 1-1 pitch, little bit low, 2-1.
Phil, if that ball was fielded by Chambliss, he had a shot.
Yes, he did.
I couldn't believe that. Yost was waving his arm, and Scott stopped at third base.
All right, now the pitch is lined just foul outside of third. Burleson got around on a good fastball by Gossett. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Yankees still lead by 3. Each team has scored a run here in the 7th inning. Well, Brohammer coming through in a pinch hitting role, batting for Remy. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball center field. That should do it. Mickey Rivers, playing shallow, is there and makes the catch. But the Red Sox pick up a run on a hit, an error, and a man left. And at the end of 7, it's the Yankees 7 and the Red Sox 4.
Randolph was 2 for 2 in his ball game with a stolen base. Scored 2 runs. Will lead it off for the Yankees. Top of the 8th, the score. New York 7, Boston 4. The Yankees with 16 hits. The Red Sox with only 4. Each club has an error, and Bill Lee will pitch to Randolph. Phil?
All right, Fran. Brohammer, who pinch hit for Remy in double, stays in the game at second. And the pitch to Willie, right down the middle, strike one call. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Lee gets the sign from Fisk. Kicks and delivers, and a ground ball hit to short, right at Burleson. He's up. Throws in time to get Randolph, and that's the first time they've retired Willie today.
Phil, I look out at the Red Sox and recall a conversation I had with Burleson early in the year when Boston was in New York with about a 10-game lead. I asked him at the time if he felt that they had the thing wrapped up. He said no. He said in 1974 we had a 7-game lead the 1st of September. He said we finished 7 games out of first place.
Oh, yeah, I remember that well. All right, Thurman Munson is 2 for 4. He's hit into a double play, singled twice, and struck out. Lee, long look. He's got the sign now. And the pitch to Thurman on the outside corner, strike one call. Thurman trying so hard to hit that left field wall, seems to be bailing out, and those fastballs on the outside part of the plate have bothered him a little bit. Lee kicked, and a curve. He tried to go to right that time and fouled it back off the stand.
So I think after you hit on the head like Thurman had been in this series for a couple of days, you're a little bit leery of leaning out over that plate. A guy like Bill Lee, though, you have to wait on him. He's not overpowering. Gives you a lot of motion. The ball doesn't get up there as quickly.
All right. Good observation there. Nothing in 2 on Munson. Lee swings into the windup. And a foul over the Red Sox dugout back into the crowd. Still nothing in 2 on the Yankee captain, Thurman Munson. Yankees leading 7-4. 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Lee winds again. And a ball hit up the middle of base hit for Munson. And Thurman rounds first, then hustles back. The 17th single of the ball game for the Yankees. First hit off Bill Lee, and we'll pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
Still on a ball, and Munson hit the center field. He's a little bit out in front with his body, but the thing that helped him, he kept his hands back in the hitting position, flicked the bat at the ball, and hit a soft line drive into center field.
All right, and that was the third hit of the game for Thurman. Reggie Jackson now has 2 hits, 2 singles. They bounced to second and struck out. 1 man out. George Scott holding the bag against Munson. A stretch by Lee. And the pitch to Jackson, swinging and a miss, strike 1. Pitch is down low, and Reggie is trying to jerk it out of the park, and he wants the umpire to look at the ball. Reggie's still having some problems breathing. Plate umpire Jim Evans keeps the same ball in play. Lee looking at Munson over at first. Now he gets the sign. And the pitch to Jackson. Bounce to first. Scott has it. Goes to Burleson. 1. Back to first. Not in time. Reggie with good speed beats the potential double play. So it's a 4th play, 3-6. Keeps the inning alive. Munson out. Jackson at first in the battle, Lou Piniella.
Scott made an excellent play on that ball, and a very difficult play for the right-hander. Much easier for the left-hander. He had to throw that ball into the runner. Very difficult play.
I noticed in the very first inning he is wearing gloves on both hands, which is unusual for an infielder.
He broke the, I believe, middle finger of his right hand and has played most of the year with it. His fans are down on Scott, and of course I'm sure it's disappointing for George Scott to have the fans down on him because he's played hurt.
Uh-huh. All right, Pinella's had a perfect day, 2 for 2, a walk, a sacrifice fly, 2 singles. Lee throws to first, but Jackson's back. Pinella has driven in 2 runs and scored 2 runs. 2 men are out. Yanks in front, 7-4. We're in the top of the 8th inning. And Lee's pitch to Pinella. Down low, ball 1.
Phil Pinella's batting at around 321 right now, which will put him either second or third in the American League.
Yeah, he could very well have gone ahead of Jim Rice, who was second. Lee sets again. Now he's going to throw to first, and Jackson is back.
Besides that good natural talent Pinella has at the plate, one of the smarter hitters in the American League.
He makes a study of it. Jackson has been caught trying to steal once in this ball game. Lee sets again. The pitch to the plate, high and outside, 2-0. Now Lou steps back to think a little bit. He'll try to outguess Lee on this one. He's ahead on the count, 2 balls, no strikes.
And Phil, when a hitter like Pinella is ahead on the count, he might look for a ball that he can pop out of the park.
All right. Lee sets. And the pitch on the outside corner. Now, just as we were talking, Fran and I, he was looking for a pitch not there, and he was smart enough to let it go. But the count is still 2 balls and 1 strike. Dempsey playing a very shallow left field. You can do that in this park because you don't have to go back far, and the wall is there. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1.
So I still think Pinella, even with the 2-1 pitch, was looking for a ball that he could jerk out from left field.
Yeah, that's what we were saying, because he took a strike on the outside corner, and rather than swing and try and pull that pitch, he let it go.
Right.
So now he's got him again, 3-1. Can afford to look for a certain pitch, and if it's not there, take it. Jackson leads off first. Stretch by Lee. He throws to first, and Reggie's back.
So as hot as Pinella's been, I'm sure Lee would like to pick Jackson on first base rather than throw the ball to Pinella.
All right, the left hand of the belt. Another throw to first. Reggie back. Once again, Lee set. This time he comes to the plate, and Lou takes it outside, ball 4. So that'll send Jackson to second, Piniella to first, and Chris Chambliss will be the batter. Now that is the 9th walk, I believe, given up by Red Sox pitchers in this ballgame. 4 by Sproul, 4 by Hassler, and 1 now by Bill Lee. Or am I wrong?
I've never known you to be wrong.
Hassler had only 2. All right, Chambliss the batter. 2 out, runners at first and second. Lee checks Jackson. Now the pitch to the plate. And line just foul and between the legs of Durwood Merrill. He hung a curveball, and Chris just a little bit out in front. It was by Scott. Foul by about 3 feet. Durwood Merrill, the first base umpire, has been very agile down there today. 2 men out. Lee sets. And the pitch to Chambliss inside 1-1. And once again, the sun breaks out from the clouds. Sure, the hitter would rather it stay in at this point. The shadows are right at home plate. Miller leads off first, Jackson off second. And Lee kicks and delivers high and tight, and again Chambliss has to get out of there in a hurry. Lee paying a lot of attention to Jackson. Has been wild high and inside in the last 2 pitches to Chambliss. This is walk, fly to left, fly to center twice. Yankees leading 7-4. He wheels around, throws, and they almost had him. If the throw were lower, they would have had Reggie Jackson. Look at Lee going out there. Burleson is not arguing, but Lee is going out to argue. He kept looking. Paid a lot of attention to Jackson and almost picked him off. And this is no time to get picked off. Reggie will not steal a base here. And at the crack of the bat, he's got to go. And the only guy he's got to worry about is Yastrzemski if the ball is hit to left. Still 2 balls, 1 strike to Chambliss. And the pitch to Chris. Right, too, and that pitch came around the plate. Chambliss leaned back away from it, a curveball. Ball even at 2-2 with 2 out and 2 on. Lee sets again. Side on pitch, bounce foul outside of first base. Lee came by the way of first base that time. And was not fooled very much by left-handers. Oh, Lee with a new baseball. Set. Now the pitch to Chris. Bounce slowly to first base. Scott will make the play unassisted and does. And the Yankees are out of the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. 2 men left at the end of 7.5. The Yankees 7 and the Red Sox 4.
Paul Blair out in center field replacing Mickey Rivers. Fred Lynn with a home run his last time. Up steps in. Phil?
All right, Lynn takes the pitch down low, ball 1. Lynn is also lined into a double play and walked. He has scored twice and driven in 1. Gossage winds his pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1. It'll be Lynn, Rice, and Yastrzemski. At the bottom of the 8th, Yankees lead by 3. Fastball swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind up, and the pitch fouled over the roof and out of play. Lynn trying to shoot to left field. That's where he hit his home run. To the opposite field, high on the screen. The goose winds, and high and outside, 2-2. Ed Figueroa went the first 6 innings for the Yankees. He's the pitcher of record. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3, ball. Lynn caught looking. Boy, it looked like he had trouble seeing that ball.
Of course, you mentioned earlier, Phil, the shadows out there in front of home plate. When that ball comes from the sunshine, especially with the bright background, into the shadows, that's when the hitter loses the ball. Tough for the catcher to see, and also tough for home plate umpires.
All right. Jim Rice, the batter. He has struck out, fly to center, and fly to left. One out here in the bottom of the eighth. Nobody on for the Red Sox. Yankees lead 7-4. The pitch to Rice. Breaking ball over. He had Rice leaning away. Strike 1. Check and the pitch swing and a miss. Strike 2. Nothing into the count. Gossage toes the rubber. Winds. And the pitch bouncing ball is short. Nice bounce to Bucky Dent. Low but grabbed by Chambliss and there are 2 away. Well, they got the dangerous Jim Rice 4 times in this game, and here is your Spencer. 2 times they got Yaz out. He hit bullets. A line drive to Rivers and a line drive to Piniella. In between, he walked and scored. Pitch to Yaz, swing and a miss. Strike 1. On deck, Carlson fifth. Pitch by Gossage, off-speed pitch, low, 1-1. Jim Evans takes a look at the ball, keeps it in play. Gossage winds, and the fastball bounced to first base. Chambliss will make the put out unassisted, and they get rid of the big 3 here in the bottom of the 8th. 3 up, 3 down, and at the end of 8, the Yankees 7 and the Red Sox 4.
Greg Nettles, who's 3 for 3 on the afternoon with 2 ribbies, will lead it off here. Top of the 9th inning. The score, the New York Yankees 7, the Boston Red Sox 4, in an unbelievable 4-game series. Nettles will be followed by White and then Dent. Phil?
All right, Nettles steps in. They have not gotten Greg out yet today, except throwing him out on a very close play at home plate. But he has singled 3 times, walked once, driven in 2 runs. Batting .278. Pitched by Bill Lee, swinging and a foul, and that got Fisk again. This poor guy has been hit all over. He is down on all 4s. And the Red Sox trainer coming out, and Greg Nettles offering whatever sympathy he can offer.
Very delicate area, too.
Yes. Fisk has been hit there several times.
In fact, 1 year he missed 3 months because of that.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing much the trainer can do.
He might be forced to leave this ball game. Although he will be leading off next inning, I believe.
Of course, he will. You hate to lose his bat, but I'm going to tell you, he's going to be uncomfortable.
Now, it's almost like getting hit on the elbow. You're hurt all over. You don't know where to rub.
It's really not the same thing.
You got to get technical out there.
Usually they'll come out, and if you're on your knees, they will bounce you.
Yeah. Fisk is up now. Still bending over. He hasn't straightened up. He was limping on that right foot. He could have been hit above the top of the chest of the shin guard. The way he is limping, he's flexing that right knee. Fisk is still limping out there and flexing the right knee, and I believe he was hit just above the top of the shin guard. A lot of walking wounded in this series for both sides, and they've all hung in there, and he gets a hand.
Yes, he does, and of course, Fisk had a major injury a couple of years ago in Cleveland, blocking home plate with the left leg. Leron Lee, who was in with the Indians, slid into home plate and damaged the ligaments in his leg.
All right, so there's one strike on Greg Nettles leading off the top of the ninth. The Yankees leading 7-4. Outfield deep and a lot of room down the left field line for Nettles. And Lee's pitch bounced right to the second baseman, Brohammer. Over to first. Nettles is retired for the first time today. Away and Roy White. Roy is 3 for 4 in the ball game. He bounced to first and singled 3 times, and every hit went off Burleson's glove.
So a lot has been said about Nettles' defense and his offense, but the thing that really stands out in my mind about Nettles is the way he can run the bases.
I said he and Piniella have had an outstanding year running the bases.
They really
Two guys
have.
you don't figure.
Right.
All right, Roy White the batter. And Lee's blooper pitch bounces in front of home plate, ball 1. Top of the ninth, 1 out, nobody on. A 1-0 pitch, down low, 2-0. On deck, Bucky Dent. Lee gets the sign from Fisk. He winds, and the curve, high ball 3, 3-0. So Roy will be taking this pitch. And Lee will try and aim it right over the plate. He does, and it's in there, strike call. 3-1. Lee ready again. And that's high outside, ball 4. White to first, and here's Bucky Dent. Bucky has singled twice. Hit into 2 double plays. He's also driven in a run and scored a run.
So Bill Lee pitched for the University of Southern California. Along with Lee, Jim Barr and Steve Busby, a pretty good pitching staff.
Mm-hmm. All right, Bucky's average up to 259. And he now has a 10-game hitting streak. And the pitch to Bucky, strike 1 call. Paul Blair is on deck. He went in to play defensively for Mickey Rivers. And now we'll bat Mickey's spot in the order. Scott holding the bag against White. And the pitch outside, 1-1. Outfield spread out on Bucky Dent. Lee kicks the curve high outside, 2-1. They've all been long ball games. I believe all of them have gone over 3 hours. No? Okay, wrong again. The kick, and there goes White, and the ball is line base hit center field. And Roy stops at second base. Lindstrom comes back to second. On the hit and run, White was going, but he still held up at second base. Bucky gets his third base hit. For the Yankees, their 18th single of the ball game. Unbelievable. That's got to be some kind of a record.
Phil and Bucky didn't swing the bat very well. The ball he usually handles very well inner part of the plate. Against the Red Sox here in Boston, he's hammered a few balls at center field that have been out over the plate.
Here's Paul Blair up for his first time at bat. Paul hitting 178, 2 homers, 13 runs batted in. 1 man out, Yanks in front, 7-4. And the pitch to Blair, strike on the outside corner. That final score, Minnesota 3 and Milwaukee 1. Tough loss for the Brewers, who were sitting back, waiting for the Yankees to beat the Red Sox and vice versa. Change up outside, 1-1. And Cleveland beat Detroit. They were red hot. Cleveland 7, Detroit 4. But those California Angels, they took 2 from the Royals. They're only a game and a half behind in the American League West. 2 balls and a strike.
The Red Sox bullpen right-hander Bill Campbell.
This is the 5th Red Sox pitcher of the afternoon. And he has a 2-1 count on Paul Blair. White leads off second, Dent off first. Outside, ball 3, 3 wide. Looks like Lee might have run out of gas.
Right, and of course the Yankees would like to pick up 2 runs here for the grand slam. It would not tie the ball game.
All right, let's see if they can do it. Three balls and a strike on Paul Blair. Lee kicks, and the pitch bounces short. And over to second, one back to first. No chance for the double play. It pulls Scott off the bag. So the Yankees still alive. White down at third. Dent erased on the 4th play at second. And Blair safe at first base. That play goes 6-4. And the battle, Willie Randolph. Willie is 2 for 3 in the ballgame. Singled twice, walked twice, and bounced to short. Willie Randolph. All right, Willie steps in. Insurance run over there at third base. Roy White. Blair leads off first. The lead of the belt. And the pitch, the big, slow curve breaks in there, strike one call. The fans love that pitch. On deck, Thurman Munson. The lead of the belt. And the fastball popped up. The shortstop, Rick Burleson, on the edge of the outfield grass, makes the catch. The Yankees are retired. No insurance runs. They get 1 base hit, no errors, and 2 men left. And at the end of 8 1/2, the Yankees 7 and the Red Sox 4.
Rutland Lumber's gigantic summer clearance sale continues. They found more items that they must sell at greatly reduced prices. But hurry, stocks are limited on some items. For example, paneling, 3/16-inch, 4x8 American oak, now just $3.99 a sheet. U.S. gypsum sheetrock, 3/8-inch, 4x8, now just $2.84 a sheet. Plus much, much more. Rutland Lumber's gigantic summer clearance sale. All items cash and carry, all sales final, subject to stock on hand. Hurry to Rutland Lumber, 1997 Central Avenue in Colony.
I can't stay awake any longer, George.
It'll be on right after the night owl movie.
Oh, City Hall.
It's a fantastic 10-second commercial, Helen, and I'm standing right there pointing to the car.
Graham.
What? You on yet, Georgie? Not yet, but you're falling asleep. What's this in the forehead?
Cheese dip, Graham.
You fell asleep in the cheese. Yes, I fell asleep in the cheese.
Oh, George, why does the TV commercial have to be on so late?
Our ad budget could only afford fringe time, but that's okay because a lot of people are up.
Graham.
Come on up. Are you on the TV? No, but soon. I'm all set right here next to the TV. I wouldn't... If you're advertising, you're reaching the people you want. Radio definitely will. With its many different formats, radio reaches every lifestyle. So you can target more messages to exactly who you want, when you want, and a price you can still afford. Okay, Helen, here it comes.
We'll lead it off for the Boston Red Sox, the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yankees with an opportunity to sweep the series, a big 4-game series here in September in cozy Fenway Park. This will be followed by Hancock and then Scott. Phil?
Hi, Fran. This is the first time in the 4 games that the fans did not leave early. The other games were never in doubt. But this one, Red Sox trailing by 3 in the bottom of the 9th. Carlton fifth. Bounced to third, doubled, and bounced to short. And the pitch by Gossage. Low outside, ball 1. Bruce winds. And the fastball inside, 2-0. And Eddie Oates looks like he might be giving him the take sign down there. Red Sox need some base runners. The 2-0 pitch, he takes right down the pipe, 2-1. The 2-1 delivery. Popped up. Willie Randolph at second base. Pounds the glove. Makes the catch, and one big out here in the bottom of the 9th. That brings up Gary Hancock. He's bounced to short, hit a sacrifice fly to left, and hit back to the box. And Goose's pitch, outside, ball one. Hancock was the first man Gossage faced when he came in the ball game, and Hancock bounced throw roller back to the mound. Left-hand batter. Foul back on the screen. 1-1. On deck, George Scott. Wind up by the Goose. The pitch, swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes. Gossage gets the sign from Munson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout.
Gossage just overpowered the left-handed swinging Hancock. Of course, right now, a little bit cooler out there, and you really do not want Gossage to break your bat, get in your hitch, and swing those hands. Now we'll pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
You're listening to 1460 WOKO, Albany.
The pitch to George Scott, down low, ball 1. The Goose winds. The pitch fouled on the right side, back into the crowd. 1-1.
So once again, right after this game, the Yankees fly to Detroit for a 3-game series starting Tuesday night. They'll be back at the stadium for a big 3-game series starting Friday with the Boston Red Sox.
All right, the 1-1 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. The Yankees leading 7-4 in the bottom of the 9th. Now Gossage ready. Into the windup. The pitch. Foul up on the roof and out of play. Scott stays alive. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Nobody on. The Goose winds, and the pitch low and outside as he curved him. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Inside, 3-2. Goose trying to put a little extra on those pitches. Got a full count now on George Scott. And on deck, Butch Hobson. Here's the payoff pitch. Whoa, did he strike? No, he did not swing, and it's ball 4. Scott started to swing, sat down. Sherwood Merrill said he did not go around. It's a walk. Third walk. Check that second walk given up by Gossage. And the batter, Butch Hobson, who was doubled, struck out and flied to left field. Getting very dark now here at Fenway. Lights have been on practically all game.
Until Hobson stepped in the box, Eddie Yost called them out to flash some signs. You might see the take sign here. 2 fine ball clubs, the Red Sox and the Yankees.
It's to Hobson. He takes it inside, ball 1.
I suppose anytime you have a hard thrower out there, he's having problems throwing strikes. When you're down by 3 runs, you have him take.
He sets the pitch to a right one call, 1-1. Now Hobson will be on his own. Got it first. They're not bothering to hold him on. There are 2 men out, and the Yankees lead by 3 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The kick, the pitch, swing, and a foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Jim Evans looks that ball over, and he's going to throw it out of play. No, he's not. He keeps it in play. Once again, the Red Sox down to their last strike. They were with George Scott, but he eventually walked. The pitch. Line to left field. That's going to be off the wall. And Roy White plays it off the wall. Throw to second base. And And the Red Sox have runners at first and third, 2 outs. The potential tying run at home plate in the person of Jack Brohammer. So twice Gossage had 2 strikes on what could have been the final batter of the ball game, but he walked Scott, and Hobson lined a bullet off the left field wall for a long single. Brohammer in a pinch hitting role doubled in the right field corner back in the 7th inning. 7-4, the Yankees lead with 2 outs. Stretched by Gossage, the pitch, strike 1 call. On deck, Rick Burleson. Very dark now here. Goose to the belt. Pitch a little low, 1-1. No action in either bullpen. Hobson leading off first, Scott off third. Fly ball, left field. Roy White back on the warning track near the wall and makes the catch right in front of the ball for the final out. And unbelievable. This is the best weekend I've ever spent in Fenway Park. The Yankees sweep the series and are tied for first place. The final score, Yankees 7 and the Red Sox 4.
It's just unbelievable. Still in a 4-game series, the Yankees with 42 runs, 67 hits. The Boston Red Sox with only 9 runs and 15 hits. And the Red Sox a good ball club, but the Yankees came to town with one thing on their mind. They wanted to sweep the series, and they did it. They're now tied with the Boston Red Sox for first place in the American League Eastern Division.